What happens when raw chaos meets cold control? When Dragon Ball's legendary Super Saiyan goes head to head with Marvel's Mad Titan. One fights through pure rage, the other through absolute precision. Today we're breaking down Thanos versus Broly and finding out whether infinite power can really overcome inevitability. So let's get to it. Broly, an elite Saiyan who was born with extraordinary potential for power. Even as a baby, his power was off the charts and easily surpassed Prince Vegeta. His power shocked and scared King Vegeta. So Broly was exiled. The king feared that Broly would one day challenge his son for the throne, become a danger to the universe itself in the process. In exile, he was raised by his father, until he was finally rescued 48 years later by members of the Frieza Force. Looking for revenge, he was forced to fight against Goku and Vegeta. Broly is incredibly powerful. Frieza, Goku, Piccolo, all of them recognize his power levels and remark on just how powerful he is. Goku even said that Broly was much stronger than him. This was before Goku was able to activate Ultra Instinct. And he also said that Broly might actually be stronger than Beerus. And considering that Beerus is legit the most powerful god of destruction out there, that's a pretty hefty statement. And here's the kicker. Broly is able to grow and adapt as the fight goes on, becoming much stronger, faster, and more skilled as the fight goes on. And as Broly transforms, going from wrathful to Super Saiyan, and especially to legendary Super Saiyan, well, his power just increases astronomically. In fact, Broly should comfortably scale above Vegeta, someone who's blown up dimensions, overpowered both future Trunks and Goku Black, even managed to press Jiren for a little while. Broly is easily more powerful than Vegeta. He also scales above Frieza, although not necessarily Black Frieza, but at this point Frieza had perfected his gold form. He could destroy planets with just his finger, and Broly showed that he was well above him. And he did that by beating the ever-loving crap out of him. Heck, Broly even scales above Goku outside of Ultra Instinct. And by that point, Goku had threatened to destroy whole universes in some of his fights. Broly was still well above him. It took Goku and Vegeta becoming Super Saiyan Gogeta to even begin to catch up with Broly in power, then Super Saiyan Blue to begin to actually overpower him. So yeah, Broly is easily one of the strongest fighters in the verse. And while Broly has some absolutely amazing feats that we can draw on here, like I said, he managed to overpower and completely beat up Goku, Vegeta, and Frieza. I want to jump into when Broly fought Super Saiyan Gogeta, and when they shattered the very fabric of reality. Broly and Gogeta were so powerful that they surpassed, or basically broke, the boundaries of the universe, transporting them to an alternate dimension. In that dimension, well, they were both throwing out reality-shattering attacks and smashing the walls of space. Then they crumble this alternate dimension and end up back on Earth. Basically, Broly's power was too intense and too much for the universe itself to handle, which is how he was able to shatter reality. With feats like that, it means that Broly is a low multiversal level being with speed 148 nonillion times faster than light, and striking power great enough to shatter reality itself. But in the other corner, well, it's the Mad Titan, none other than Thanos himself. And just to clarify if there's any confusion, this is the 616 version of Thanos, so the mainstream version from the comics. Ever since he was just a child, Thanos has been obsessed with nihilism and death, eventually falling in love with the physical embodiment of death itself, Mistress Death. Wishing to impress her and win her love in return, Thanos gathered an army and completely destroyed his home planet of Titan, slaughtering millions of his race. And from there, well, he began a search for more and more power in order to fulfill his goal of spreading death and destruction across the universe. All for his love. Thanos has strength that way outclasses even the likes of Hulk and Thor and the other Avengers, easily overpowering them and sending them flying with punches, even managing to manhandle Hulk and Thing while at the same time fighting both Thor and Hercules. So like legit, four of the strongest heroes in all of Marvel, and Thanos is fighting all of them at once. He's nearly killed Silver Surfer with just a few punches. He's able to send Hulk flying miles away with just one hit. He's been able to actually fight against Thor while Thor had the power gem, and Namor has said that getting punched by Thanos is the worst pain that he's ever experienced. And Namor has definitely taken some serious punches through his life. He's kinda an easy guy to punch in the face. But the Mad Titan is so strong that he's even able to bust planets, destroying a planet in his fight with Drax the Destroyer, and then bull rushing his son Thane straight through a planet, destroying that one too. And while Thanos is very strong, I think his durability puts him in a class all his own. He can take blasts from Silver Surfer like they're nothing, shouts from Black Bolt like they're nothing, take hits from Thor with the power gem, and he simply just smiles. Thanos is actually legit so tough that several heroes have said that they've broken every bone in their hand just by punching him. He's even survived gas giants and planets exploding, withstood black holes with the mass of multiple galaxies. Good luck putting Thanos down. I'm not even sure if that's actually possible. And I mean that literally. Thanos has survived blasts that legit one-shotted heroes like Hulk, Thor, and Gladiator. He's even been disintegrated down to a skeleton before and survived, quickly regenerating in the process. But Thanos isn't just limited to his physical strength and durability. He's also a master of energy manipulation. He's able to knock out the Thing with just a flick of his fingers, knock out both the Thing and Thor with just one blast, kill Adam Warlock with one blast, and has just made a habit of regularly knocking out some pretty powerful heroes with ease. Heck, he's even able to knock around Galactus with an energy blast, send him flying halfway across the moon. Of course, it didn't put him down because it's Galactus, but still incredibly impressive. He's able to create energy bubbles to trap people in or stop attacks from coming his way, and is also able to create some powerful force fields that have held up to Galactus before and have stopped both Thor and the Champion while they had the power gem. This really is one of Thanos' most powerful abilities. At the end of the day, this is all why Thanos is ranked as the Avengers' most dangerous villain, and is seen to be on par with the likes of Odin and Galactus. He's got power nearly without end, is allowed to sit at tables with the most powerful entities in the Marvel Universe, and is easily, truly, one of the best. So who wins? Well, let's break it down. On one side, you have Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan, a force of nature who fights like a planet with fists. And on the other, Thanos, the Mad Titan, the warlord who's gone toe-to-toe with gods, devourers of worlds, and cosmic beings older than time itself. At first glance, it feels unfair. Broly is raw, uncontrollable power. Thanos is cold, calculated destruction. But when these two collide, it's not a battle of strength, it's a battle of control. Let's start with Broly. Dragon Ball Super turned him from myth into monster. Even before transforming, Broly was trading blows with base Vegeta and Goku, two fighters who, at that point, had surpassed god-tier power. Once he tapped into his wrathful state, he was ragdolling Super Saiyan God Goku, and when he hit legendary Super Saiyan form, he evolved mid-battle, adapting to every attack, every opponent, and eventually overpowering Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, a fusion so powerful it threatens the fabric of space-time just by existing. That's what makes Broly terrifying. He doesn't fight with technique, he learns through rage. He adapts instantly, growing stronger the longer the fight goes. In his power output, we're talking about someone who shook entire dimensions with raw ki alone, destroyed landscapes with straight energy blast, and clashed so violently with Gogeta that reality itself bent around them. Physically, Broly is faster, stronger, and tougher than almost any being in his universe. But power like that comes with a price, because Broly's greatest weapon, his rage, is also his biggest weakness. He doesn't think, he reacts. Every second he fights, he loses more control. And against someone like Thanos, that's the one thing you can't afford to lose. Now Thanos, people forget, Thanos isn't just a brawler in armor. He's a cosmic warlord with millennia of experience fighting everything from gods to abstracts. He's fought Thor and won. He's overpowered the Hulk. He's shrugged off blasts from Silver Surfer and gone one-on-one with Galactus-level beings. Even without the Infinity Gauntlet, Thanos is a monster, physically, mentally, and metaphysically. Physically, he can trade punches with the likes of Thor and survive planet-shattering blows without flinching. His skin is nearly indestructible, his stamina is limitless, and his strength scales to some of the most powerful beings in Marvel's history. But that's not what makes him dangerous, it's the variety. Thanos is a master of energy manipulation, telekinesis, and telepathy. He's fired beams that have vaporized moons, created energy constructs capable of restraining cosmic entities, and even disintegrated opponents down to atoms. His mind control abilities can overwhelm powerful telepaths. His soul manipulation can rip consciousness straight out of a body. He's studied the laws of existence and then weaponized them. And unlike Broly, Thanos doesn't need to evolve mid-fight. He's already mastered every form of warfare the universe has to offer. So when they clash, here's how it plays out. Broly opens strong. His energy output dwarfs almost anything Thanos has faced in raw, destructive power. He closes the gap fast, lands hits that shake entire planets, and forces Thanos on the defense. But Thanos has fought beings like this before. He's tanked hits from Thor wielding Mjolnir, matched the champion of the universe blow for blow, and kept fighting after being smashed through a planet. He can take the punishment, and more importantly, he can adapt his strategy. As Broly charges in, Thanos starts using energy manipulation to counter his attacks, teleports around the battlefield, and unleashes concussive blasts that tear through Broly's aura. He studies his opponents, reads patterns, and strikes at the mind, not the body. Broly's power keeps climbing, but Thanos stays calm. He's fought chaos before. He is the counter to it. While Broly swings wild, Thanos begins targeting pressure points with precision strikes, combines psychic assaults with energy waves, and eventually traps Broly in a containment field fueled by his own energy. For a while, Broly breaks through. His raw energy overwhelms Thanos' barriers, forcing another close-range battle. But that's what Thanos wanted, because at that range, one strike, one pulse of cosmic energy, the Saiyan's Berserker Storm finally starts to fade. This fight is brutal. Broly absolutely dominates in raw physical power. He's arguably faster, stronger, and more explosive than Thanos in nearly every way. But Thanos has the advantage everywhere else: experience, intellect, and an arsenal that goes far beyond punching power. He's fought gods, titans, and beings who warp reality itself, and every time, he finds a way to win. Broly can overpower Thanos, but Thanos can outthink Broly. When your opponent can attack your body, mind, and soul all at once, brute strength only takes you so far. Broly breaks worlds. Thanos conquers them. When chaos meets control, inevitability always wins. Thanos wins.